Hey, boys and girls, this book is called Emely's First 100 Days of School by Rosemary Wells. And it looks right here, they're counting all the days of school up to 100. Emely's first 100 days of school. And I notice going around the border are numbers counting up to 100. And this book is by Rosemary Wells. Author's note. One, on the first day of school, I leave my mama's arms. I'm too excited to cry. I have my own desk and my own notebook and my own teacher, Miss Cribbage. Miss Cribbage says every morning we will make a new number friend and write it down in our number books. When we reach 100 days, we will have a big party. No one believes we will ever get to 100 days. On the second day of school, Miss Cribbage teaches us a song called T for Two. Two is our number friend for the day. I write it in my journal, and on the way home, I sing T for Two. 3. My school bus is the number 3 bus. Papa makes sure I know the number 3 so that after school I get on the right bus. My partner in square dancing is Diane Duck. There are 4 corners to a dancing square. After school, I pick 5 different vegetables in our garden. Papa makes tomato, zucchini, pepper, carrot, eggplant soup. That sounds good. We eat supper at 6 o'clock. I draw a clock with the hands at 6 for my number journal. 7. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. My big sister Eloise has a daisy with 7 petals. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me, says Eloise. Who? I ask, but Eloise won't answer. 8. My little brother Leo has a cold and stays in bed all day. After school, I teach him crazy eights. 9. Miss Cribbage shows us a map of the night sky. There are 9 planets in our solar system. I come as Saturn. But Pluto is not a planet anymore. 10. Miss Cribbage comes as the sun. 9 planets plus 1 sun is 10 heavenly bodies, says Miss Cribbage. 11. Every day at quiet time, we read a different picture book. We copy the names of the books on paper leaves and pin the leaves to a tree. My book, tree, has 11 leaves. Leo and I pick Mama a dozen zinnias for her birthday surprise. Who could have done such a wonderful thing, Mama says. 13. Eloise is 13 years old. She thinks she knows everything. 14. Miss Cribbage gives us all gold stars for writing our names without any mistakes. I write Emely in 14 different colors. 15. My best friend in school is Diane Duck. Her daddy takes us for a boat ride. His motor is 15 horsepower. Is that like 15 horses swimming, I ask? 16. After supper, Leo, Eloise, Granny, Grandpa, and I sing 16 tons. Miss Cribbage reads aloud Dick and the Donkeys. I follow along and read 17 of the words all by myself. Wow, says Miss Cribbage. Number 17 in the book says, Dick and his donkey went up the big hill. Hello there, Dick, said a funny blue man. 18. Miss Como is blind. Diane Duck and I walk with her across Main Street. 18 steps from sidewalk to sidewalk, said Miss Como. I know where I am. 19. Leo eats pineapple upside down cake. Upside down. My mama says you can make pineapple upside down cake 19 ways, but only eat it one way. It looks like, did he make a mess? "20. We bring cardboard cartons into school. Miss Cribbage makes 3 of them into isolation booths. Then we play 20 questions. 21. Today is our music teacher's birthday. The class sings happy birthday, Mr. Horn, and gives him a 21 horn salute. 22. Grandpa takes us to a football game. I count 11 players on each side. Grandpa helps. 22 football players all together. 23. Our seats are in section 23 of the grandstand. 24. Today, each family in our class bakes 2 dozen cookies. They bring them in for open house night at school. I draw all 24 cookies in my journal. 25. I collect 25 Japanese beetles from the garden. I get a penny for each one. 25 pennies makes a quarter. 26. There are 26 letters in the alphabet, and I can write them all, capital and uncapital. 27. I read a road sign for our hometown, North Pleasant Valley by the Sea. That's a 27-letter name. 28. Don't you want to eat your vegetable jello? Asked our school lunch monitor. I'm counting the peas in it first, I answer. There are 28 peas in my jello cup. 29. Today, a new boy moves to our school. His name is Roger, and he comes from 29 Palms, California. We look it up on the map. 30. Miss Cribbage teaches us to recite a poem. 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31, except February. Now we're done. 31. There's 31 days in October, and October 31st is Halloween. 32. Eloise has 32 Girl Scout merit badges, including first aid. When Leo falls out of the tree, she makes him a sling from her tie. 33. The prize-winning pumpkin at the state fair weighs 33 pounds. 34. Last night's wind blew acorns onto our front steps. I count 34 and make a necklace for Granny. 35. Miss Cribbage has a letter from her brother in Costa Rica. The stamp says 35 centimos. Someday, I'll write a letter all the way to Costa Rica. 36. Eloise, Leo, and I make growing marks in ink on our kitchen wall. We measure with a yardstick, which is 36 inches long. Eloise shows me the number 37 in her homework. It's a prime number, says Eloise. Nothing goes into it. Someday you'll understand, Eloise always says things like that. 38. Our neighbor, Mr. Huffington, drives a very old car. It's a 38 DeSoto, says Mr. Huffington. Best car ever made. 39. I'm 4. How old are you, Aunt Min? Leo asks. I'm 39 years old, answers Aunt Min. Still a spring chicken. 40. Daddy makes Leo a Noah's Ark for his birthday. The real Noah's Ark sailed for 40 days and 40 nights, Dad says. After Leo's birthday party, Dad takes 40 winks on the sofa. That means he took a nap. 41. Diane Duck visits New York City. The airline loses 41 pieces of luggage on Diane's flight. Her mother has to get Diane new clothes. 42. Diane sends the class a postcard from New York City with a picture of 42nd Street. I get to read it aloud to the whole class during circle time. 43. Leo is an astronaut for Halloween. Grandpa makes Leo a space helmet with 43 fiber optic meteor-proof antenna on it. 44. It is Rainforest Day, Miss Cribbage shows us a picture of a square foot of Amazon jungle. How many beetles can you count? Miss Cribbage asks. I count 44. 45. Eloise is learning about triangles. This one has a 45-degree angle on two sides, says Eloise. 46. The 6th grade boys play the 6th grade girls in basketball. The score is 46 to 46. Our class are the cheerleaders. 47. At circle time, I read a whole book out loud. It has 47 words to it. 48. Felix eats 12 packs of candy corn from Halloween. The school nurse sends him home with his mama. That's 48 candy corns. He probably got a tummy ache. 49. Clementine is my papa's favorite song in the shower. What's a minor 49er? I asked him. Someone who went west for gold back in 1849. He tells me. Every day we salute our flag. There are 50 stars on it, one for each state. We make a map of the states in our number journal. 51. My sister Eloise thinks she is so grown up, but she is not allowed to go into the big city with her friends. There are 51 reasons why not, says our papa. Eloise does not stay put to hear them. 52. Diane Duck has moved away, and I'm so sad. Granny plays hearts with me to make me feel better. There are 52 cards in the deck, and I know each one. 53. Write Diane Duck a long letter with lots of pictures, says my mama. And we do. I make the pictures and mama writes my words down. We address it to her new house at 53 Buckaroo Boulevard in Pecos, New Mexico. The geese fly over us, heading south for the winter. I mark off 54 goose dots on Miss Cribbage's nature chart. 55. Why can't we zoom like the motorcycles, Leah asked Papa. Because the speed limit is 55 miles per hour, says my papa. 56. How do I love thee? Let me count the ways, is Mama's favorite poem. How many ways are there? I ask. Off the top of my head, I can count 56 ways, says Mama. 57. We make piccalilli for class Thanksgiving. The label on the pickle jar says 57 varieties on it. What are the names of the 57 kinds of pickles, I ask, but even Miss Cribbage doesn't know. 58. Granny and I take the pies out to cool on Thanksgiving Day, but it is 58 degrees outside. Indian summer, Granny calls it. 59. At Thanksgiving dinner, everyone says thanks for one thing. Leo says thanks for all 59 cranberries in the cranberry sauce. I watch the timer for Mama while she cooks. There are 60 minutes in an hour. 61. Everyone in our class makes turkey sandwiches for the homeless people, so they have Thanksgiving too. We make 5 dozen plus 1 for Dorothy, who drives the truck. That's 61 sandwiches altogether. 62. Papa and I do the weekly shopping. There are 62 things on Mama's list. 63. Hello, good morning, says everyone on the school bus. I counted 63 hellos. 64. Why is the sky blue? Felix asks Granny. That's the $64,000 question, Granny, says Granny. 65. Luis is our class track star. She can run the 100-meter dash in 65 seconds. 66. What will we do when we grow up? Miss Cribbage asks the class. I'll drive my very own car all the way along Route 66 right across America, and I'll visit Diane Duck on the way, I answer. Diane Duck sends me mail. It's my first package ever. It has my name and 67 Oak Street right on the envelope. In the package is a tumbleweed. That was for 67. 68. Grandpa brings home 68 tulip bulbs. They will flower next spring. We plant some in Mr. Kernesky's garden because he's too old to plant anymore. 69. Eloise plays a duet with Clara for the Girl Scout holiday concert. They have learned Opus 69 of Mozart. That means the 69th thing Mozart wrote, says Eloise. 70. Everyone in the lower school lights tiny Hanukkah candles in the cafeteria. 70 candles makes a beautiful light. 71. Granny and I love to bake. First, we measure carefully. 2 scoops of chocolate drops, says Granny. That's 71 grams, I say. 72. Altogether, we make 6 dozen Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and solstice cookies for the children in the Children's Hospital. 73. Eloise and I make 6 dozen, plus 1 for Miss Cribbage's Dachshund Binky, rice and egg biscuits for the animal shelter Christmas dinner. 74. It will be a white Christmas, says Miss Cribbage. She draws us a weather map on the blackboard. We color it in. 74 inches of snow fell in Rocky Mountains, says Miss Cribbage. Think of that. 75. Grandpa is building a clipper ship out of matchsticks. He keeps a 75-watt bulb in his work light. 76. Eloise has been asked to play 76 trombones for the Girl Scout Jamboree. Do you have to practice 76 times a day? Asked Papa. 77. Everyone makes a Christmas stocking for the UNICEF Christmas Crusade. Our school sends stockings to 77 children in different countries around the world. I want to write a letter to whoever gets my stocking in a faraway land. I can't write all the words, so I put down happy, happy, happy. 78. We string Christmas tree chains. Miss Cribbage dunks them in gold and silver paint. Mine has 78 pieces of silver painted popcorn. 79. What's another word for snowstorm, asked Mama. Blizzard, I say. Mama shows me how to spell blizzard, and let's write it in her crossword puzzle. Under 79 down. 80. Angela is a new girl in school. She comes all the way from 80 Mile Beach in Australia. Angela tells us about Ayers Rock, kangaroos, platypuses, and eucalyptus trees. Then we find Australia on the map. 81. Miss Cribbage is teaching us about great buildings of the world. I make an Egyptian pyramid out of 81 sugar cubes. Leo eats the top cube in the car. 82. Angela needs friends. My mama asked Angela's whole family to come for supper. Angela and I skip rope, double dutch, 82 times without stopping. 83. Angela's big sister, Frida, is a Girl Guide. Eloise invites her to join Troop 83 of the Girl Scout of America. Frida says yes and wears her Australian uniform. 84. We make 7 dozen cookies for the fireman's ball. Angela dances to the fireman's fiddle. 85. Our gym teacher does 85 jumping jacks every morning. 86. The tallest building in our state capital is 86 steps high to the top of the dome. Our class walks up all the way and down all the way. 87. Angela stays overnight. She is now my best friend. We count 87 stars in the sky. My mama says Australian stars are all different, but the moon is the same. 88. Every Tuesday at lunchtime, I sit with Mr. Horn at his piano. There are 88 keys on the piano, and Mr. Horn plays them all. I can play and read 3 notes. 89. Aunt Mim is on a diet. There are only 89 calories in my tomato soup, says Aunt Mim. I can't see any, says Leo. 90. Mr. Goldberg is 90 years old and belongs to the Polar Club. He doesn't mind January ice water and swims every day of the year, winter and summer. I always have and I always will, says Mr. Goldberg. 91. Miss Cribbage tells us her dachshund, Binky, is really an old lady of 91 years. That's 13 dog years old. I turn the radio dial to my favorite station, Country 92. The banjo music plays. That was for 92. 93. Angela has never seen ice before, so we take her skating. My papa lets us measure the ice through an ice fisherman's hole. The ice is 93 centimeters thick on the pond, and that's plenty safe. 94. A storm knocks down one of our trees. We'll read the trunk to find out how old the tree was, says Grandpa. There are 94 rings in the slice of tree, one for each year. 95. I have 95 things to do, says my papa, but the most important thing is reading your story. 96. We make 8 dozen gingerbread policemen with gold marshmallow buttons for the policeman's jamboree. The policemen eat every single one. 97. It's cleanup, our neighborhood day. Our class wins the blue ribbon for picking up 97 bottles of cans. 98. I have the sniffles. Mama takes my temperature. 98 degrees is normal, says Mama, but she brings me hot chocolate and lets me stay home from school anyway. In bed, I write to Diane Duck, and this time my letter is more words than pictures. 99. On my school bus, everyone sings today. We sing 99 bottles of pop on the wall. 100. Suddenly, it is the 100th day of school. I can think of 100 new things to do, says Miss Cribbage. Felix brings in 100 candy corns. Martha wears 100 buttons. Otto plays 100 rat-tat-tat-tats. Roger stands on one foot for 100 seconds. Angela recites a 100-word poem. Terrence does 100 cartwheels. Luis runs 100 yards. Luis makes a glued together 100 bottle cap hat. What are you going to do, Emily? Asks everyone. But my 100 is a secret. Bunny family, 67 Oak Street, North Pleasant Valley, by the sea. Dear Mama, Papa, Granny, and Grandpa, it is the 100th day of school. I can read, I can write, I can count 100 kisses for you. Love, Emily. And she made 100 X's, which was 100 kisses. This has been a book called Emily's First 100 Days of School. I hope you loved it.